So I'm telling you, don't make these mistakes. That's right, folks. When you're thinking about selling your home, there are 3 things you can do that really screw things up. Let's get to it. First off, when you go to sell a home, you think you know a lot, but no one ever knows as much as they do. So the first thing that you're going to want to think about is, well, what do I need to do to get ready to sell my house? I've lived in this house a long time and my kitchen kind of sucks. And everybody else has got new kitchens, so maybe I should have a new kitchen put in. You know what? It sounds like a great idea. There may be things that need to be done, but I want to tell you something. One of the mistakes that you have to avoid is you have to avoid the mistake of taking all this money and spending it and doing things that in the long run won't make you any more money. Say, Mark, what do you mean by that? Well, first, here we go. Number 1, you need a new kitchen because your old kitchen is dated. You haven't touched it in 20 years. Everybody else in the neighborhood has, and you know that it's outdated. So you go down to your local Home Depot or you call your local contractor and you get the bid in and it says it's $49,000 for a new kitchen, new cabinets, new dishwasher, new countertops. Great. You know what? I'll put that $49,000 because it'll make the value of my home go up $49,000. Actually, maybe not. The worst mistake you can be is go spend $49,000 on a kitchen or $28,000 on a bath or $63,000 on a pool and then think it's going to raise your price that much. So what's the first mistake you got to avoid is spending too much doing things to get your house ready to sell. That's right, spending too much. You put the $49,000 into the kitchen and you're only going to get 20 more, you're down $29,000. So why not leave the kitchen alone? Why not leave the kitchen alone or do something else like put in new countertops? Okay, that's $10,000 and it's going to get you $18,000 better price. It's going to make the house sell 2 months quicker. Hey, that sounds right to me. But don't go doing too much. Just because you've done it doesn't mean anybody else wants to pay for it. There's this real balance you've got to have. All right, second mistake that you can make, and that is not doing anything. Thinking, you know what, I'll just put it on the market as is. People will take it. I live in a hot market. There's not a lot of inventory. People really are, they'll understand it. They'll walk in and they'll see it. It's a nice kitchen from 20 years ago. And the carpet, it smells like dog a little bit, but you know what? I'll clean it. I'll just do it. No. That's the second worst mistake is doing nothing. There are lots of things you can do to your house. You can declutter it. You can get rid of furniture. You can get the odors out. You can do all kinds of things that are not going to cost you a lot of money that make sure that your house has this really common appeal. I'm sitting here looking at what's on my shelf behind me. If I were going to sell my house today, I'd declutter this. I'm standing here at my kitchen table, which is why my stuff is on the shelf. But for you, if you're going to sell your house, a mistake you can make, it's a little one that can make a difference, is leaving all that junk on the shelf that you look at every day. Or what if your house has a royal blue dining room? I walked in the house one time and I looked and said, what is the deal with this house? It's been on the market 93 days. It should have sold in a week. And I walked in and realized the dining room was royal blue. They didn't even spend the $600 to paint the dining room. So every person that walked in the house, including me, who I can walk in the house and tell you what needs to be done to look at it, says, you know what? Why do they have a royal blue dining room? Aren't they trying to sell the house? You know what? Here's something you need to understand. Right now in today's market, yes, inventory is short, but prices are high enough that people aren't willing. They're not willing. They don't want to buy a house that isn't just right. The other thing is they're not going to overpay. So they're not going to pay you the price you want or you should be able to get with a royal blue dining room. Unless you just happen to have this special, knack for making royal blue look better than royal blue, even if it is your favorite color. So number 1, don't make the mistake of doing too much and spending too much money. Number 2, don't make the mistake of not doing enough. Paint the walls. That's right, paint your walls. You may not think they're bad, but you know what? You've had kids running through there. There's fingerprints, there's handprints. Paint the wall. And don't just do a cheap job. The only thing worse than not painting the walls is having a terrible paint job where you hire the least expensive person and they got paint everywhere and you can see the roller strokes throughout. Don't do that. Do the things that are going to make a difference. Find some advice on how much you should be able to spend and how much it's going to return. Now here's the thing like this, paint. I'm going to spend $7,000 painting my house. It may not get you $7,000 back. It may only get you $5,000. But you know what it's going to do? It's going to make your house sell 2 months sooner, and you're already spending $4,000 a month. So what are you going to do? 2 months, $4,000 a month, that's $8,000. So you're going to save, you can sell it 2 months sooner, so you're going to save $8,000. You're going to get $5,000 more. You're already ahead. You go ahead and spend the $7,000, you sell it quicker, you put more money in your pocket overall than if it had been sitting there a while. So that's the second thing you don't want to do. Here's the third thing, and this is the worst mistake you can make. I don't care what house it is. I don't care what price it is. I don't care where it is. The worst mistake you can make is pricing your house too high, because here's how it works. You go on the market. Everything else in the neighborhood is $520, $530, and you come on and you say, you know what? There's not a lot of inventory, so I'm going on at $565. I'll get $559 and we'll be good. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. People go online. They're looking at houses. Ooh, nice neighborhood. $520, $525. Like this one, like this one. Ooh, this is nice. $565. These people are nuts. What? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to pay that much for it. I mean, my interest rates are already so high. You know what? I bet you. You know what? These people are crazy. I don't want to deal with them. And the next thing you know, people aren't coming to look at your house. And guess what? You're never going to sell your house if people aren't looking. If you price it too high, people won't look. They'll skip right over it. But not only will they skip right over it, the longer it sits there, the more they begin to think, something must be wrong with that house. Because, yeah, I didn't put an offer in at a reasonable price, but somebody should. And I mean, does it have a bad roof? What about a bad air conditioner? I mean, obviously there's something wrong. Everything else is sold in 30 days. It's been on the market 60 days. Oh, there's got to be something wrong with it. And then there's this other thing that happens. And you finally realize that you've got to price it at what it should have been priced to begin with. You're not going to get that price because people are still going to think there's something wrong with the house. Now the price is in line, but the days on market are way too long. And the people that are looking now are not the people that were looking 60, 70 days ago. They're looking there and thinking, ooh, it's been on the market so long. It should have sold for $520. I'm going to go in and I'm going to make an offer at $505. And what ultimately happens when you price your house too high is people don't look. People think something is wrong with the house. When you finally do price it right, people aren't going to be willing to pay it because they're going to think and they're going to understand something's wrong with the house. And the issue is there's not something wrong with the house. The issue is there was something wrong with the price. Don't make that mistake. Take a look at our next video and see what it is you should be doing to sell your house instead of what you shouldn't.